Alrighty, so I'm back with the 3 box turtles that I just picked up from the bird rescue. The first thing to do is get them in the bath, let them soak and hydrate up, and also to get the poop and everything else cleaned off of them that they had smeared around all inside the cardboard box they were being held in. The story that I got was that they were abandoned, just left abandoned in that cardboard box inside of a vacant rent house. That's all I've got so far right now. The person wouldn't even give me a location or anything. So at this point they're stuck with me, and they're probably not going to be releasable back to the wild because there's 80% chance they would not survive. You can't just turn reptiles loose anywhere because they wander, they go in search of their original territory that they imprinted on. They don't prepare themselves for winter, so they don't store up, their fat. They don't find a hibernation spot in time because they don't recognize the area they're in. And reptiles tend to use the same hibernation dens or spots where they burrow, over and over again throughout their life. So you can't just release them anywhere because studies indicate 80% chance they won't make it through the first winter. So unless I know where they came from, they can't be released. So they're pretty much stuck with me. And these two are ornate box turtles, and this one was these were pretty obviously male and female, and the females tend to be larger than males. The shorter, thinner tail, a high domed, very curved domed carapace. That's typical to a female. And males, like I said, little smaller. Carapace a little more flattened, but they're just smaller in stature than the females. And once you see enough of them, you learn to be able to spot the differences, at a distance. As soon as I opened the box, I could tell this was a female and that was a male. And this one over here, this is a female three-toed box turtle. These guys here are common throughout our area. These, not so much. They are found in the wild here. I found a few of them in the last 12 years or so. I've only found about 3 or 4 of them live in the wild around here. Normally, all the others that I found have been around Lake Wichita area. So it's possible that she was a native that came from around here, or she could have come from somewhere else. But the interesting thing about her shell is that she doesn't have just the typical flat olive drab color to the shell, the solid color. She's got some of the starburst pattern showing through here. And I've had a few of these in the past, and what those tend to be are hybrids between an ornate box turtle and a three-toed box turtle. So I can tell all 3 of these, they came from the wild. They were recently taken captive because their body condition is in very good shape. They don't have shell deformities that I would often see in turtles that have been held in captivity for quite a while, because most people don't keep them outside. They keep them indoors in an aquarium or whatever, and they'll develop metabolic bone disease through poor diet and lack of UV lighting. These turtles have none of that, so I'm guessing they were taken captive fairly recently. And they were wild. And this one may have come from this area, but she may have come from slightly farther south and east of here, where the ranges of the three-toe start to overlap with the ornate box turtles. But it is possible she did come from this area. But it's all a moot point anyway, because as I said, you can't just take them and release them back out to the wild anywhere because they have very slim chances of survival if you do that. So unless somebody comes through to me with a location that these were taken from, then unfortunately they will be stuck with me or possibly one of my fosters who have outdoor turtle enclosures, something like that. But they will live a good life amongst other box turtles in an outdoor enclosure, a proper habitat for them, you know, a captive enclosure for them if you're going to keep box turtles. So they will have that, but and they'll have that social interaction and natural sunlight and all that sort of mess. They just won't be able to be wild again. So, and the ornates tend to have a lot of energy. They move around quite a bit. They kind of stress a lot more than the three-toes do in captivity. So that's another important reason why in this area where the ornates are most common, and that's normally what I end up getting in the rescue, it's been an imperative to house them outdoors where they will have as little stress as possible. But we're going to let these guys hydrate up and then try to get them fed, and probably give them some preventative dewormer treatments, and then get them outside to the enclosure out there with the rest of the box turtles.